Well, it's the penultimate day of the final of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10. We've had 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks of keen competition, and we are in the playoffs. We have the Saffron Strikers and the Real Property Grenada Bay Leaf Blasters. They are going to play off to see who rises further on the table. Match referee Norman Gilbert is here. He has the coin. We're going for the toss.
Head is the call. Tail it is.
Kem, you won the toss this morning. Tell us your decision.
We're going to have a bowl first.
Okay, having a bowl first, and you're looking to restrict them to what sort of total?
Anything under 100 would be good.
Okay, so we've seen you more or less try to defend low totals. It has not always worked in your favor. What different are you going to do today?
I think we just have to stick to the plan. And as I said at the start of the tournament, T10 is a game where the batsman have to come at you, so you don't have to go chasing the game. So you try to bowl our best balls and keep them quiet, and wickets would come with that.
All right, well, thank you very much, Kem, and good luck to you in this match. We coming to speak to us now will be the captain, Micah Narayan. Micah, not really the tournament that you really wanted. Nonetheless, you have an opportunity to move a bit closer up the table. Tell us about today's match.
First of all, let me thank the Almighty for bringing us here safely. As we know, I had a few blows, injured players in the tournament, but we come here to play cricket and we're going to play our utmost best.
All right, so have you been able to really piece together maybe 11 that could really compete, seeing that you have some key players out?
Well, basically, we only have 11 players today. Unfortunately, 2 of the other guys are injured, so we have to work with what we have.
All right, thank you very much, Micah, and good luck in today's match.
Thank you.
So we'll get ready shortly for the start of this playoff match. So we're going back upstairs to you guys. So as we heard there, the Bay Leaf Blasters, they will be taking first knock as the umpires head out. And we are getting ready for the first playoff match on the playoff rounds, the knockout stage as we would call it, of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 Season 5. With me, Sir Rafael Crony, and we are going to begin to bring you the action in today's encounter. Welcome, Rafael.
Yeah, morning, Clyde, Rondell, as is known. So many names. Yeah, another beautiful day here at the Las Vegas playing field. Even though we would have had some rain overnight into the early mornings, some places, but again, this venue is really in tremendous condition.
Yeah, certainly in good condition. It's always a venue you can rely on. Even if rain falls, it drains well. And so fellas can expect that a bit of a shower, and shortly after you can have the resumption of play because the drainage is that well. So we're seeing on your screen now the Saffron Strikers. They won the toss. They chose to field, and they are heading out into what is such a beautiful sight there on your picture, the Las Vegas playing field, where all the action took place, and it continues until tomorrow, where a new champion may be crowned, or we may have a repeat of championship.
Wide open. Anyone can be crowned tomorrow. Nutmeg Warriors already has placed themselves into position. There's one more to join them. That game coming up, second game, would be really an important game. Just to see the umpires for today, Rupert Holas, and he's at the northern end. And Jerome Fraser, he's from the southern end, or the commentary booth end. Just to run through the team just before. Saffron Strikers, Kem Charles, captain, Riquel Sylvester, Sheehan Bruffett, Ruel Williams, Adrian Thomas, Neilon Pascal, Nico B. John, Tyrone Charles, Kevin Francis, Justin John, and Otel Lewis.
All right, and the Real Property Grenada Bay Leaf Blasters, Micah Narayan, captain, Wavell Benjamin, Dante Alexander, Kieron Katoy, Kelshon Andrew, Calvin Blash, Alvin Ramnott, Dean Walcott, Shakon Olive, Dana George, and Dylan Joseph. That's their starting 11.
Yeah, interestingly, Clyde, we see here on the Saffron strikers, and one noticed today that Javel St. Paul is not on a final team. Hope that he's okay.
Yeah, I think he just had a little concern after the last game with I think it should have been the groin area, and so he's just as a precaution. I think they're just resting him. He's done well in the tournament, St. Paul, and not really lighting up the tournament as we expect, but he had some really good cameos.
Yeah, key player for the Saffron strikers.
And that's the first ball in this encounter. And ball there by Neilon Pascal. Again, you see a beautiful bit of swing from Pascal. And so the Bay Leaf Blasters, they are off. It will be a really keen encounter this morning. I don't think anyone wants to remain in the cellar position. And so these two teams will battle to see who can move up the table as to their final resting place.
Yeah, there's still a lot to play for. The team that there's quite a bit to play for. The team that win here will probably take on the losing team. Certainly, there's a bit to play for. Bay Leaf Blasters at the bottom of the table, and really would want to end on really come off a good note.
As this one is whipped past the man there at short fine leg, who was a bit wide at the short fine leg and really couldn't reel it in. So a boundary to Dane Walcott. Dwayne has been really hitting the ball well. We've seen him in the previous match being sent up the order, and he continues his hitting.
Yeah, good delivery by Pascal. I don't think he should be too worried being played down to that long leg, wide long leg. Yeah, that ball cut back into Walcott and just taking the edge and going down to long leg.
And this time he goes through the offside. He's beaten the fielder there. It will run into the boundary just about now. So back-to-back boundaries for Walcott. As I said earlier, he's striking it well.
A lovely shot. And this was pitched up and he stroked it well. And a lot of time in there, and they beating the cover fielder who chased back but really was not able to pull it back. But a good shot by Walcott.
Look at that ball swing. Really good delivery. It started on the off stump, and by the time it got to the batter, it was just about middle.
Yeah, getting the ball to swing. I think that's why the shot before played by Walcott was a good one, because he had to make adjustment. He had to prepare for the swing, and he hit it well. And you can see that following the Yorker right up, and he had to come down on it. Has been good bowling by Pascal. Still, even though he has gone for 9 in the over, but you have seen the movement and the sort of experience being used by him in terms of being able to deliver, to hit a link and hit a line.
Well, good even start there by the Bay Leaf Blasters and the Saffron Strikers. The Blasters have broken the trend of a wicket in the first over. Let's see if they can survive the second over. Generally, the teams that survive the first, they don't survive the second. And let's see how they go. It will be spin from Othniel Lewis, coming from the pavilion end.
So the teams that ended at the bottom of the table, Saffron strikers. They ended on 6 points. And BD Blasted ended on 4 points. I think either of these teams will want to come off with a victory in this one.
Yeah, they certainly will. And the individuals also have a lot to play for. Lewis just been pushed out of the top 10 in terms of the bowling, the top bowlers. He's there at number 12 as he's in. This one comes off the edge. Quick single taken. Yeah, Lewis was up there. He was just about, he's on 8 wickets. And the leading wicket taker now, Asif Hooper, he's on 11. So wickets here for Lewis, could see him move up the table again. This one is stroked to the covers. Really nicely played. Not going to go to the boundary. Well done by the fielder in Thomas. The batters could complete 2.
Yeah, good run in there by both batters. As that ball was struck into the cover. Didn't seem to get the timing. Still able to pick up 2.
Again, stroked. It's stroked. It's going to beat the fielder and roll into the ropes. Another boundary to Walcott. Walcott really seeing it well. He's been prolific through the cover and cover point.
Yeah, good shot. Given the right treatment, short ball there from Lewis. And he got on top of it and cut it square. And the fielder having the chase, but just was not able to pull it back. But a good shot.
This time he goes again, even more beautiful. Let's look at that ball as it races across the turf. 4 more to Walcott. He's really in a good, aggressive frame of mind.
Yeah, given the room there, a ball tossed up outside the off stump, and it just played through the line. Again, it also tells you, Clyde, how good it is to bat on this particular pitch.
Yeah, you get full value also for your shots because, I mean, once you find the gap there, as Walcott has done, means that once you beat the fielder, the possibility exists that you will pick up 4. So you can hit it along the ground. There's no reason why you shouldn't.
Yeah, the confidence of the batters to play through the line. And this one, it's a good delivery, slow one. Well played there. He had to check his advance and just push it out on the offside.
Well, at the end of over number 2, the Bayleaf Blasters, they are 20 without loss, and so we can safely say that they've broken the trend. The 2 overs have been bowled. They have not lost a wicket, and so it augurs well for them. 1 more over in the power play to go. They will want to maximize that over. Maybe just look to get a 15-20. If you end the power play with just about 35-40 runs, you will consider it a good start.
Yeah. Particularly if you does not lose a wicket, you win at 35-40. You can feel comfortable with that.
Well, Ruel Williams will have a lot to say about that, as he has ball in hand now. And there he is on your screen. Diminutive figure of Ruel Williams. Not very tall. And so you generally associate his type of bowling with just a kiss of the surface. Does get a little movement through the air. But a very tenacious player. It's very deceptive.
Yeah, well, he haven't picked up much wicket, Williams, but bowled well in 5 games. Just picked up 2 wickets, but does have the ability really to move the ball and use a lot of variation. So Williams would have, in his five games played, he would have picked up 2 wickets. Total of 87 runs.
Here he is again to bowl to Katoy. Katoy has been quiet so far. And there he goes, stroking. Will pick up 1. We've seen Cotoy just be ready to play second fiddle to Walcott, who has been striking it really well.
Yeah, we haven't seen the best of Cotoy in this tournament. We know the explosive player that he is. Didn't really get off.
Yeah, again, a good delivery from Williams. A bit of indecision by the batters. Luckily for them, they really did not go through with that single. Could have spelled disaster. Williams in, and he whips this one straight to the man there at short mid-wicket. Went to him quickly.
Yeah, I think he probably was looking to pick the gap. And it went straight to the fielder. Probably hit that a little bit squarer. Would have been able to pick the gap.
Short this time again. Unable to pierce that gap. Good bowling there by Williams. I think this is what he has done well. He has kept things a bit tight and quiet. Hasn't really been in the wickets, but the tightness of his bowling, the economy is pretty good.
Yeah, he has done his job. In 5 deliveries, just 1 run.
This one straying a bit down the leg side. Wide being signaled now by the umpire.
Yeah, we're just about to speak about this over. And he have been there and thereabouts. Not all that easy to score after. I think this is a strength that he has. Even though he would have only picked up just a few wickets. But he have been able to keep the control that is necessary. And this over just going for 3 with 1 delivery to go.
And there he is again, back on target. It beats the man there at short third. Running into the boundary now. And let's see what the signal will be. 4 runs. It seemed to have beaten the outside edge.
Well, it was a good delivery. He was looking for the drive, and it just went just to the right of the short third man. And went down to the boundary for 4. So not a bad delivery. Just unfortunately that, he went just away from the short third man. And the batsman did picking up another boundary, but good over. Going for 7 minutes first over. Really have started well.
Yeah, good start there by Williams. It's a bit unfortunate there that everybody missed that last delivery. And so we've come to the end of the power play. It's 27 without loss. Relatively good start to the Bay Leaf Blasters innings. Need to be calculative here. Try to ensure that they pick up the boundaries. As this one is down the leg side, and he needs no invitation there. And Dwayne Walcott, he sees it well and deposits the first carry power hit maximum of this match. So you look at it there, it lifted and cleared the rope easily.
Yeah, a good shot by Walcott. What was so important, he got inside of it there and really went with the tide and hit it really, really sweetly over that backward square position. And he continued to motor on, quickly gone to 24, 14 deliveries.
Yeah, 20.
But it's probably one of the better starts for Bay Leaf Blasters in the tournament. Certainly, they will be happy with that start.
Again, just showing a bit of guile there, just looking to use the pace of the bowler. Try to beat the man at short third.
So Lewis has picked up eight wickets in the tournament and seemed to always start in this southern end. Has done well in terms of his average, not being very expensive, have been able to keep it tight.
Here he is again, Lewis. Walcott just stroking this one. Picking up an easy single there. Moves his total to 25 of 16. Katoy, the quiet Katoy. There he goes through the cover region. The man is out there on the boundary. Bit of a misfield there by Charles, but recovered well. Batters cross for 2.
Yeah, just a little lapse there by Charles. Although the ball did seem to bubble a bit, but should have prevented the second.
Yeah, good cricket there by the Bay Leaf Blasters. They move on to 38 without loss after 4. Good foundation for them. They still have a bit of hitting power to come.
Yeah, and the fact that they have not lost a wicket, which is so important. The power of Walcott, really, the Billy Blasters will be hoping that he stay as long as possible. I think they would be looking to get really a challenging score. I think they would love to get in the vicinity of 120. I would think, which would be a good competitive score.
Yeah, I think it will be a competitive score. Anything above 100 will be a competitive score. Yeah, they've had a total of 121 already in this season.
So Lewis completing his spell, none for 22. And we are seeing the off spin of Kem Charles.
Yeah, Charles starting well. Yeah, the Blasters, the highest total in this year's tournament is 121. So if they can get past that, they would. And that 121 was in a winning cause. As Walcott goes, lift this, nice and straight over the boundary. 6 more to Walcott, a carry power hit maximum. And certainly he's seen that ball well.
Yeah, pitch up delivery and given the right treatment as he really climbed into it and hit it over long on with really comfortable ease and picked up a maximum.
Yeah, Charles on the pump. This time he just plays it for 1. He's really in good control of his game here, Walcott. Let's see if Kotoy can get a bit jealous and look to maybe just up the scoring rate slightly. Yeah, so far his strike rate Kotoy is under 100. So you will want to get that up a bit more. As he gets inside of this one, reverse sweep, 4 runs. And this is what we know that Kotoy can do, using a bit of innovation to bring up a much needed boundary for himself. He was in that position very early. And so Charles really couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, safe shot. As you said, into position very early. Shortish delivery. And as we have seen, having difficulty looking to hit outside the off stump, he just changed his style and was able to get one over the keeper head, reverse hit.
Shot on, and this one is pulled. The man is out there. As they go, they take 2 here. Really good running, exceptional running by this pair. And Bay Leaf Blasters having what I would say is a really good game so far.
Yeah, a good running. And we have seen a positive running through the game this morning. They seem to come out with a plan. And though that ball was hit straight down to the fielder on the boundary, but they was able to come back for 2. Again, we see in the fielder just fumble a little bit. But again, the positive and aggressive nature that they have, still were able to come back for 2.
Yeah, really good bit of running there. Just that simple bobble, and it was in front of the fielder. He recovered quickly, but those guys were just too alert to that fumble.
Yeah, very good running. 50, 51, 5 overs, halfway stage. They would want to no push on from here. I think they get this sort of start, not losing wickets early. I think they would want to push on from here. Walcott 35 from 21. You know, on the slow side from Kotoy, just 10 from 9 deliveries. He would want to up that.
Yeah, he certainly will want to up that as Tyrone Charles comes into the attack from the pavilion end. Charles seemed to always bring a bit of heat with his pace bowling.
Yeah, does have a bit of pace. Just coming off the under 19, I think, last year or two. And bowler with tremendous talent. I do believe that what might be lacking in some of our young players is in terms of the work ethic, consistency in terms of working. When I see that practicing cricket, as we look around, we just does not seem to see, you know, players practicing cricket as we once knew. And I think this is why maybe sometimes you find some of our bowlers, young bowlers with talent, and you only see them when there is some form of competition. But I think they just need a lot more work in terms of run-up, in terms of bowling, you know, learning more about the art of bowling.
And this time he goes, and the catch is spilled. It's spilled. It's running close to the boundary. Will be pulled back. A valiant effort there by John, but really couldn't pull that one in. Katoy just, well, Walcott it seems.
Yeah, he made a valiant effort, but I instead of running to the ball, I thought that he'd little run, I wrung it a bit, and had to really stretch for it, and just was not able to make it. But again, John, as we know, a good fielder, picked up a few good catches in the tournament, and he just was not able to get there, and seemed to have fall sort of hard there. He still seemed to be favoring just his hip. But he did make a valiant effort.
Yeah, at this stage you need a breakthrough. You want to try and take these half chances and make them into chances.
Yeah, again, Walcott there. This one, I think, it's because of the pace, and he was able to get this one to bounce a bit more. So it bounced a bit higher than Walcott expected. And you could see him having to force it down to that mid-off position or extra cover. And the umpires, I imagine, probably just checking. And if it's the no ball, I don't think it's nothing about height.
I guess they're just checking to make sure that the bowler did not overstep the line. Height of delivery seems very good.
Umpire Fraser there, just using the little technology that we have to get it right, make sure that we get it right.
Yeah. Letting.
Yeah, it does take a little more time, but I think we have been going very well for the tournament. No issue in terms of time. Matches finishing on time.
Yeah, I think the players have done well. The teams have done well in terms of trying to stay within the time. The umpires have really been able to push them along really nicely.
Yeah, and it's good that you said that. I thought that the teams really look pretty organized, real discipline, and no team or players reaching late from where we sit, what we have seen. You know, all the players always seem to be on time. And I made mention of it before. I thought that, you know, the support from the management team have been tremendous, making an effort to make sure they're all comfortable. This goes well for the development, you know, of not only the team, but the person that is in charge in terms of management and making sure that things is okay. And there we see actually is one shot, so they was really checking on the grounding. So
Yeah, Charles in again. This time he can be out though. It goes through the hand of the fielder. That's Lewis down there. And he does seem to be getting a life, Walcott. That's the second opportunity in terms of trying to get himself out. Bowler just putting the ball right there and asking him to do the hitting.
yeah, it would be disappointing for Tyrone Charles. I think he have been rushing him with the extra piece. And this short lifting delivery again, Walker looking to pull and taking high up on the bat and feel that it's just backwards square feeling to get his hand to it. But we see the difference that pace make there. Walcott having difficulty with those short deliveries. So good start by Tyrone Charles. He has been aggressive, really aggressive by nature in terms of his bowling, although very calm and cool on the outside, but he's that sort of aggressive bowler. And a bit unlucky not to pick up the wicket of Walcott.
Yeah, certainly. Very deceptive in terms of his smooth action. Does rush onto you, and that one just rushes off the bat of Walcott as he guides it to the man there at the wide third man. Picking up another single. So he moves on to 39 from 26. Strike rate of 150 exactly. And Katoy, who has gotten his strike rate up over 100 now, will want to motor on, maybe get it up to the 150, 160 mark. Charles looking to close off the over. Let's see how he goes. And Katoy lifts. This one is gone. It's gone out of here. A power 8 maximum off the bat of Katoy. And I knew somehow he was just getting himself ready to really start motoring on. And he has done that. Let's look at the replay here. Comes across, and as the bowler delivers, just lifts it through the line of the delivery. Power 8 maximum.
Yep, good shot by Katoy. Pitch up. I think what he did here was that he moved pretty early across. So he gets himself in real good position, and that ball slightly over pitch. But again, being able to hit through the line on this pitch. And he played it really well, hit it straight, and picked up his first maximum.
Yeah.
So Charles going for 10 in his first over, but was a good over. I think he bowled some really good deliveries and could have picked up the wicket in the over.
Yeah, the change of length there, I think he missed the length. The length that he bowled earlier is what really had the guys in trouble. And once you get up into the half of a man like Kieran Katoy, he doesn't need any second invitation to go over the top. He has gotten his strike rate to 160, as I mentioned, as the veteran Pascal comes back in. And Walcott goes. They go for one. That's all that it will be. So Williams comes off the boundary and field, but you get the feeling that it's been a calculative batting effort from these two openers.
Yes, well, I do believe they need to push it on from here. We're into the 7th over. It's 62 without loss. So one expect that someone really going to look to go out all blazing. They need to pick it up from here. They have not lost a wicket, which is good, and they run rate is just about 10.5. You want to probably get up to 14. So there's someone who need to push from here. But there's the experienced Pascal, slow delivery. And Katoy there was found himself in no man's land and just allowed this one to go.
Yeah, certainly. He's up against Pascal there, who does have the bag of tricks.
And probably good move. Pascal coming for his second over. And the intention is just put some more pressure on. This one goes high up in the air, the mid-wicket on the boundaries coming around the middle, and it really drops in the middle of both of them, and it just seems that no one knew where the ball was going on. No one attempted to get to the ball.
Yeah, really, nobody seemed to have picked up the trajectory of that one. It went high in the air. It was really high. And so both fielders had enough time to really get underneath the drop zone, but they failed to do so. Meantime, Pascal continues his effort. And Walcott goes over the top. That's Katoy, rather. And let's see the signal from the umpire. Power hit from the bat of Katoy. Katoy is ready. He's seen enough. And he's ready to really pounce on anything offline. Good shot there by Katoy over the cover. And Pascal being put under a bit of pressure.
Yeah, as I said, somebody have to begin to take it to the bowler, step up. Although I don't believe I hit it as well as he wanted. But I think there was enough power just for it to clear the boundary.
Yeah, good comeback delivery there from Pascal. It's bowled well. That's one delivery. His second over, not really going for much. 6, 8, 9. None for 18. He will be looking to pick up a wicket here. Let's see. Final delivery. Can he get the wicket off Katoy? He can't. This one is played down to wide, straight mid-wicket, and they pick up a single. So that's the end of Pascal's spell. 2 overs, none for 19. Not regular. You'll see Pascal not in amongst the wickets.
Yeah, he's the sort of bowler that picks up wickets very early. But I think all credit to Billy Blaser. They batted well. The openers batted well. 71 without loss is probably now the second biggest opening stand. And it's a real improvement from what we have been seeing before. And I just think that they need to step it out, step up on the rate for the next 3 overs. Katoy, 25 from 15, and Walcott, 40 from 27. Charles going for 10 in his first over.
Yeah, Katoy striking now at 166.6. And Walcott just dipping in strike rate a bit. He's at 148.1. But they have a good foundation. They just need... Somebody will need to carry on while somebody needs to really start belting that ball over the ropes on a consistently regular basis. And there he goes. Katoy is the man that seems ready to pounce. Another carry power hit, this time cleanly hit over mid-wicket. Look at it here. Really got onto that one quickly.
Yeah, this is the most confident shot we've seen from Katoy. It was a short delivery, and he really climbed into it, and he really hit it sweetly. You can hear the song coming off the bat, and hit it way over mid-wicket for a huge 6. Certainly, he's beginning to come into his own. And Charles just on a bit short, and Katoy taking full advantage, but easily. I think the most confident shot that you would have played for this morning.
Yes, certainly he spent enough time in the wicket to see exactly what Charles has to offer. And somehow he knew that it would have been shot. You can see him really getting into that position rather quickly.
Yeah. So yeah, stroke making becomes so easy when they get into position. That ball, a sweet song of the bat. Actually clear the fence clear the road and went into the field on the side. So it tells you what a powerful shot. Hit with a lot of power. 77 without loss. and over number 8. So we should be preparing ourselves for some fireworks now.
Yeah, we're certainly hoping that the fireworks can be brought. Walcott has been going well. Toy now seem to be picking it up. 31 from 16. Toy 40 from 20. Walcott 40 from 27. That's Charles in. And he goes again straight at this time. It's going to be 4 runs to Kieran Katoy. And so Tyron Charles put under some pressure here now by Katoy.
Well, he pitched the first one short and was hit for 6. And he just bring this one up a bit. But what he also did was to bowl it in such a way that Katoy had the freedom to swing. And he swung and hit it straight back over his head for 4. So even though you're going to pitch up sometime, but you want to take away the freedom of the batsman to swing.
Yeah.
Give him room outside the off stump, so he was able to really swing easily at that delivery and hit it back over his head for 4.
Yeah, I think he was looking to go wide, that wide line. Does have 2 men out, the deep backward point. You have a man at the straightish cover.
I would have even thought that the mid-off should drop back, right? And that hit down to long on, where it just goes.
And it's another boundary. Let's see.
Umpire just trying to confirm, but do look here as though it went all the way.
Yeah, it's a carry power hit.
Yeah, pitch up again, given the right treatment. And hit over long on. So Charles would just need to concentrate on his length, and you must use a lot of variation in this format of the game, because
goes again this time. Let's see if he clears the rope. Yes, he does. Another 6, another Carib power hit. Katoy is in the mood to really bring some heat to Charles. Really latched onto that one quickly. Got it high, but got the distance.
Yeah, another short delivery. And just was able to get it over the mid-wicket fence. Again, a bit too short. And Katoy getting into position and swinging lustily. No.
White signal there by the umpire.
Yeah, and we have seen the captain probably just going to say some encouraging words to Charles. He has gone for 22, 3 sixes and a 4 in this over. Sometimes you just need to slow it up a bit, a little variation. Maybe wide, but slower, so the batsman has to reach for it. He continues to be bowling quick. Another quick shot. High in the air. Let's see. Goes over backward point for a huge 6. Again, pace on. And the Katoy taking advantage. Another Carib power hit. And this is the 4th 6 in the over.
Well, with that 6, Kieran Katoy has just brought up his 50. He's now striking at 265. Really, he has just turned on the heat in this over. And the over is not over as yet.
So we did say that we should prepare for some fireworks. And I think we had it in this over. I think some 28 runs have been scored in this over.
Let's see if there'll be more. In, down the leg side, wide delivery.
Well, not 28, but 30. He had 2 wides. So some 30 runs have been scored in the over. Yes, 71 after the 7th over. So a big over here for Bailey Blasters. And that over can make the difference in this match. Cotter raced his 53 in 20 deliveries. So I don't think we have seen Walcott face a ball for a long time.
And there he goes again, going hard. Not able to clear the fielder there, but the intent was there.
Yeah, good over. Some 32 runs scored in that over. And again, Cotter is going to face. So we haven't seen Walcott face a delivery for quite a while. He's 40 from 27. And he has been on 27 deliveries for a very long time. Run with 12.75. And as I said, Clyde probably would love to get it up to by 14. It's 102 without loss after 8 overs. So the second century partnership we have seen in the tournament.
Yeah, and really coming, I would make it 2 games too late for the Bay Leaf Blasters. But nonetheless, they are still competing. They're giving their all. As the captain said, they have a few injury concerns, but they're going to give it their all. And with 2 overs remaining, it's possible that they can get past the highest total of 121. Let's see how they goes. Charles in, Walcott. It's still Cotter, sorry. It's still Cotter bringing out the innovative batting as he reverses this one. A reverse paddle.
Yeah, good shot. Reverse picked the line well and hit it over the short fine leg. Safe shot. So he continues scoring boundaries. And this is really what is needed now from Bay Leaf Blasters. Kim Charles into second over. Hit.
So it goes again. This time will he hold out on the boundary? No, he won't. It's 6 runs. 6 more to Katoy.
Well, the umpire is going to just check here. Although from our vantage point, it just looked as though he was probably...
Yeah, Charles making good effort. Went out and tried to come back in to see how he can pull it in. And there he goes again, Katoy, looking to get that one out the park. Picks up a single down to long on.
So Walcott has come into strike for a very long time. 113 without loss. And it's so difficult sometimes when you have been off strike for a very long time. You get a chance to bat, it's like you have to start over. Well, he was in a rhythm. It's true that you probably would have given him a chance, but he was in a rhythm in terms of striking the ball. But being off the ball for a very long time, you know, you could, like you had to start over. You get stale.
Yeah, the body, the body just losing the momentum. That could put you off your game. Katoy goes hard. You can see Walcott now, the opposite is being done. He's more trying to give the single to Katoy, who's striking it well. And that brings an end to Walcott.
Yeah, and you can see the difference in his batting now because it was a short delivery, and it could have been swung somewhere in the mid-wicket area, but again, looking to force it, it went down to long off, and the fielder coming in there taking Lewis coming in there taking a rather simple catch, but I think it all happened because of him being off strike for so long. But, played a good hand, 116 for 1, and played his part.
Yeah, Walcott, this is the second really good, decent score that we've seen from him. A good quality player. He bowls really well, bats well, and so the Bay Leaf Blasters, they would have needed that a bit earlier. Maybe just to put a bit more fight in the effort this year. Nonetheless, they're working hard. Captain Narain comes out to join Kotoy, who is on 66, who has raced to 66. He's 66 coming off 25 deliveries.
So it does seem they will reach 120, which I really expected them to get if they're going to make a fight out of this game. As you rightly said, 100 from the time you pass 100, it can be very challenging. Even though we see score like 78 being difficult to get, but I think the Bailey Blasters now would feel confident that they can pull through in this particular game, having such a good opening stand. It'll be 116 for 9 overs.
It really has been a good display, good batting display from the Bay Leaf Blasters. They just need to close off here nicely now. It's Williams coming back to bring an end to the innings. Saffron strikers will want to try and be as minimal in terms of this over as possible. They do not want to be chasing too many. Yes, the wicket is good, the outfield is good. You may want to back your batting, but the batting haven't really come up trumps for the Saffron strikers.
What we are now seeing is doing a lot better for the Believe Blasters. Maybe that's why they have been in the bottom. We have the batting has certainly let them down. This is definitely a turnaround. Really good start.
Yeah, it's 117. And so they need to just get a few more to pass that 121. Boundary now will bring them level. A 6 will get them past it. Williams to Narain. Wide delivery. The umpire just may signal wide at this time, so they will get 2. As they go upstairs just to check the run out possibility.
But that was tremendous thinking by the batters. Having to take a single off a wide delivery. It was very alert to the situation. And I don't think the keeper was expecting it. But I think it's a good calling by Narain. And they actually completed a single, while really the ball was actually in the keeper's hand.
Yeah, Kotoy was really quick. I think he was out the blocks very quickly. Narain just needed to respond to him.
So let's see if the keeper was able to hit the stump before Narain would have grounded.
Just a bit of discussion happening there. We rely on the technology just to help with the decision making. So the Believe Blasters, with that, once the wicket is not taken, they will move up by 2. So it will be 119. More importantly, it will be Kieran Kotoy on strike. Means that the possibility of them getting past that 120 will be much greater. He's the set batter.
No white signal.
So it will be 2.
Well, not a white signal. We see the keeper is down here.
He's just having a bit of fun out there. So
well, is it that the batsman is given out? seemingly by the square leg umpire. We are a bit. The score is 119 for 1, and now Qatar is walking out. Seem to be have been given out by the square leg umpire. So we will see what happens here.
Yeah, just looking at the replay here now. Oh, so it has been determined. It was really tight on the line. So I think this is what took the time. The third umpire just wanting to make sure that he got the result that he wanted. And so they say the line belongs to the umpire. And so if you haven't crossed that line, you will be found wanting. And so the replay is showing that Qatar have been found wanting. Really a twist of events. And so it's 118. They did not complete the bye. And so they get the wide, but not the bye. So Williams to Dante Alexander. Again,
Yeah, it was pretty difficult for us to tell here in terms of what happened on the other end. And one got the impression that Narayan was the one in trouble going to the further end.
Alexander lifts this one high. Fielder coming under it. Will it be taken? Yes, it's taken. As Kevin Francis takes a relatively easy catch. And so Alexander not adding to the score. It's 118 for 2. I make it 3. As Kevin Francis takes that catch.
Well, he didn't have much of a choice. He really had to go for it. But again, we see clever bowling there by Hewell Williams, not taking pace off, which meant that the batsman really have to put pace to the delivery. And when you have to reach for it, it really doesn't put you in a position to put much pace on it. Went high up and was taking just at the point position. As Williams continued to bowl well. That's probably his third wicket that he picked up, keeping things very quiet.
Yeah, so Dana George replaces Dante Alexander. Williams picking up that wicket there, 1 for 5 into his second over. Will want to close off this over nicely. Again, just rolling his fingers across that one. They go through for the quick bye. It's going to be 120.
It's 119.
119 for 3.
With 2 deliveries ago.
And this time, Micah Narayan pulls well. That will be 4. And certainly they've gotten past the 121. That was their previous high score, the Bay Leaf Blasters. They defended that 121 really nicely. Let's see if they can do so today. As the over will be completed in 2 deliveries.
A good shot by Narayan. The ball was not all that short, but again, he was able to swivel and hit it from the middle of the bat. And no one on the backward square boundary. So it beat the square leg and the rush down to the boundary.
And there he goes again, coming off the outside edge. That will bring up another 4. So Narayan just taking the attack to Williams. And that brings an end to the over. The Bay Leaf Blasters, they end that over on 127 for 3. A good batting display.
Yeah, they would be happy with the performance. 127 for 3 in 10 overs. They would feel that they would have done well. But just probably I think that Saffron striker probably would have missed a little trick coming down to the end of the over. The short third man was very short. And coming down to the end, you'd want to know you push your players back. You want to cut off the boundary, not necessary to stop the singles. That third man should have been right back. Even the square leg, the backward square, should have been right back. But again, I guess feeling confident that you were able to bowl a good over. But Narayan, the captain, ended very well, hitting 2 fours for the last 2 deliveries. And really would be happy that they have been able to get up to 127 for 3.
Yeah, we'll be happy with that total as we just quickly look at the bowling analysis. Kem Charles picking up 1. And Ruel Williams, the only other person to really pick up a wicket, though we had the run out of Katoy. But basically, Charles, his 2 overs went for 27. He picked up 1. Williams, his 2 overs went for 13, picking up 1. And so an economy rate for Williams of 6.5, really good. 19 to Pascal, off his 2, not picking up a wicket. All in all, a good total set. The Saffron strikers, they will have to back their batters to see if they can make a chase of this one.
Yeah, they will have to bat well. Kotoy, as you see, run out 67 from 26 deliveries. Walcott 41 from 29, 4 fours, 2 sixes. And Kotoy had hit 7 sixes. Narayan not out 8 from 2. Alexander didn't trouble his scorer, not from 2. And Dina George just 1 ball, not from 1. Total of 127. We've seen a number of sixes being hit again, and we will give you a tally in terms of sixes, but certainly a lot of the ball has been hit out of the park.
Yeah, a number of balls being lost to some really big hitting, and so it's really been a phenomenal T10 this year in terms of ball striking. Yeah, we'll certainly give you a breakdown as to the number of sixes hit throughout the tournament. But 127, let's see what it will bring.
Yes, 127 for 3, 128 needed for victory. We are going to take a short break and we'll be back here to give you the reply as Saffron strikers. I would try to chase down that 127.
So we're here at the commencement of the innings.
So back here at the Lassages playing field. Saffron strikers, they're going to chase down 127. They will need to get 128 for victory. Again, conditions continue to be really in excellent condition. It's Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament. This is edition number 5. And also the second edition, edition number 2 here at Lassages. And we expect quite an interesting and exciting game here. As I welcome for the first time today Justin Hector.
Yes,
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, yes. Pretty hot again, beautiful sunshine, lovely day for cricket.
First delivery hit down to that backwards or that cover position, as we see Alvin Ramnath, the off spinner, and Lewis. Till Lewis. Is it the first time he's opening the batting? I know that he holds off spin.
Yes.
Seemed to be the first time opening the batting.
Or maybe not. It could be the second time, you know.
Yeah.
But we can have to look at that.
So Ramnath.
All right.
Spin quite a ring on the offside. Ball hit down to long on, goes over the long on fielder for the first carry power hit. Ball pitched up, and Lewis getting under it and giving it the right treatment and hitting it over long on for 6.
Yeah, well, a delivery pitched up, and you have to say given the treatment because it was in the slot. And Lewis is a very tall man, so all he had to do was just get his foot to the pitch and hit it straight over long on.
So he's...
And
once again, this is a bigger hit. What a huge hit. And that really probably would have dropped on the building. What a carry power hit. Really a huge hit there by Lewis.
Of course, you have long levers, so you really can't get too close to him. And if you're going to bowl that length, you probably have to ensure you hit the yorker. If not, he's going to dispatch you, and this he did. Tremendous hit.
Yes. So once again, the umpires will need to replace that ball. But that from the middle of the bat, and you hear the song tells you that really gets it in the meat of the bat. And that really traveled. It would have been a 6 on any boundary.
Maybe I'm wondering if the ball has been retrieved. Somebody did go into the yard of the water bottling company there, and I don't know if they have retrieved it. But it's certainly gone a long way, so it could have ended up on the other side, close to the road. Yes, in fact, it has been returned. So one of the few times you see balls go in that direction and has been returned. So thanks to some guardian angel out there. But you wonder
So
what condition it's in.
So we had 2 maximum in the first over. And this is the sort of start that a Saffron striker would need. 14, 4 deliveries being bowled. Ramnath in for some rough treatment. Just pulling back the length there.
One more.
And Lewis tugging that down to a mid-on position. He picked up another single.
He was after him again. This time probably a little quicker and a little closer to the body. So couldn't get the power or the distance. And probably luckily too, because really didn't get hold of it too cleanly.
So that completes the first over. 15 without loss. So good over by Saffron strikers. They require a run rate just about 12.56. So it's the sort of start, that they would have loved.
Yes, and the type of start and the type of total too that can make for again a nail biter later on this evening.
Yes, it could all go down to the wire here. We saw the second biggest partnership, 116 by Billy Blasters. Saffron strikers will really want to overhaul that total of 127.
Yeah, that's the center stamp. The bowler is coming left arm over.
As we see, picking it up from that southern end, Dana George. He's going to open the bowling for Billy Blasters. Lewis on 15 from 5. And a good slower delivery looked. From here it was wide, but not wide enough to be called a wide.
I think that's the one for the run out. It close, but don't mind her.
You need to cover that. It's a white ball.
No.
Okay, this time it's called a wide.
We have seen already Crony teams basically in control, just coasting along, and all of a sudden now wicket or two or something, and they're under pressure again. Saffron strikers have to ensure that they keep the momentum going.
Yeah, they would want a good start. 15 of the first over is a good over for the Saffron striker. They will want to continue that momentum. Hit down to mid-wicket for another carry power hit. Shortage delivery, and Lewis showing the power that he possesses, really belted this one over long on and picked up his second maximum. That's 22. Really powerfully hit by Lewis. He goes to 21. So we haven't seen much of Shan Broffett, who's another player that can really strike the ball. Pitch up high. And this is going to go for another carry power hit maximum. Ball pitched up, and he really swing into this one and hit it over long off. Feel at mid on, just have to jog back to the pickup. He continues to score in sixes.
Anytime the bowlers go in length or direction, he's prepared to give it everything. And he did give this one a mighty whack and high over long off for 6. Just backing away slightly, ensuring that he gives himself sufficient room to free his arm. And again,
is hitting through the covers, down to long off. And ball just one bounce to long of fielder. But he really struck this one very hard.
That's the middle stump.
Just unfortunate, he went straight down to the fielder. One bounce.
Leg stump.
But that left the bat like a tracer bullet.
Coming left, I'm around two. Two left.
Big, powerful man, of course.
So really aggressive start by the Saffron strikers.
One left.
Lewis quickly on the 28 from 9 deliveries. George going for already 14 in this first over 1 delivery to go. So we had 15 in over number 1, already 15 in over number 2. Ball hit down for another 4. Ball comes off the edge. Lewis looking to hit it a little bit straighter, and the ball cut back into him. And you can see here taking the edge and going down to that fine leg, long leg position, which is vacant. So he picked up another boundary, and that concludes over number 2. What a tremendous start for Saffron strikers. They are 34 without loss.
Of course, it's fortune favor the Braves. The Brave, certainly been very, very positive from the time he came to the crease. And certainly, when you're that positive, you deserve some kind of luck. And again, when it's going away, everything is going away. We're coming up in a portion of the bat and racing down behind square for a boundary. But the thing about it, we're still in the power play, therefore there is some space that cannot be covered in this period. I think one will see the field a lot more scattered at the end of this over. So it's never easy bowling in the power play. Batsmen are prepared to take chances, though there are times that the power play do bring wickets. It can also bring a clutter of runs.
So we see a change. Alexander. Coming from that northern end. So we had just had 1 over of spin. We see the medium piece of Dante Alexander. 34 without loss. We are into over number 3. Yeah, Bruffett.
Sam Braffit having a swing down the leg side. 4 wides, quite belatedly signaled by the umpire, probably just waiting to ensure it crossed the boundary. So
yeah, and Bruffett looking to hit it square and made no contact. The sun continues to shine brightly today. Pretty hot, like yesterday, even though we had some rain earlier on. Really pleasant condition. Short ball hit down to mid wicket. Let's see, gonna drop. Just see. Picked up just inside the boundary. The batsman complete 2 runs.
good bounce it was. Thought for once they might have checked to see whether it may have been over the shoulder, but I think it was very well directed.
So Lewis.
Of course, the umpire's now signal is the 1 for the over.
Pitched up, a hit to mid-wicket, just to the right of the mid-wicket fielder, not getting hold of this one, Lewis. But still being able to pick up a single. So we have seen just in these two matches, and we have not seen a wicket fall very early. A couple of the few occasions, 116 before the first one fell. Billy Blasters. And we have seen here now it's 42 and we just into the third over. So this game can really go down the wire.
Really do get the feeling that that might be the case, may well be the case.
Current run rate is over 15. Believe Blasters won't be too perturbed picking up the singles. We've seen quite a number of sixes hit in this tournament. Down to third man, very good shot, short delivery. And he got under it and lifted it with all the ease in the world, in total control for another carry power hit.
Right, didn't look to hit it too hard, just got underneath it. And as we look at it again, and just hit it, Trent went up with it. And it flew high over the head of Dana George, who is down on the third man boundary. And for another carry power maximum. Certainly 49 without loss after 3. Excellent reply.
Yes, scoring over 16 runs and over. And really, if they continue this momentum, certainly we'll get to that score before the 10th over. Just to give you an indication of some of the sixes hit, we had Dijon Charles hitting 26 sixes in the tournament, followed by Nkosi St-Hilaire with 25, and Darren Ned with 24. Those are three of the top 6 hitters. But we also seen players who would have, like we would have seen today, some tremendous hitting. Kieran Kotoy making a good 66.
Kotoy was one who probably you could say came to the party a bit late. One really expected quite a lot from him from the start.
Yeah, he's one of the top players in the tournament. And you would always look at your top players to do well. But this tournament, there had not been a case where all our top players would have been in the forefront. Well, we saw a glimpse with the batting of Kieran Kotoy, Dylan Joseph.
No.
So the score is now 50. The inside of over number 4. 50 without loss. Remember, today is the
So it's 15th. 3 overs. Again, good bowling ball right up.
we have the celebrity match this evening at 2:30 at
Prophet just had to defend.
sorry
Why is it 2:30?
a number of
Celebrity
Prophet beans a bit slow,
ex-national.
but with the rate that Lewis is going now, you just need to just stay with him, pick up the ones and the twos. Good over so far by Joseph.
Send up the ball. Send up the
Not
ball.
giving much away.
Yeah, send it up. Send it up.
It's 4 delivery, just going for 2 runs, 2 singles. So he has had a good start. The aggressive Lewis comes in to strike.
That's the thing about it. Despite how well they may bat it, not the fast they may be scoring. Just a few dot deliveries and maybe a wicket or two added, and the whole complexion of the chase changes.
Yeah. Really one player that really had been firing. The lowest 35. Swing down to long on. Again, not getting hold of it. And they picking up a single. Really good over by Lewis. His first over. It's going for 3. And 52 without loss after 4 overs.
End of 4, 52 without loss. 10 to Brathwaite, 36 to Lewis, who have been very enterprising. And probably sent out to do a job, which I think he has probably done already, or very much on it with to doing it. You know, playing that pinch hitter role. I don't think he came out here knowing that he bats a little bit lower down the order. He didn't come out. They came out there to really go after it. And
yeah, came out with a plan. And certainly we have seen him really take charge, taking up their aggressive nature. And that's really be hitting the ball really powerfully. Narayan right up. What a tremendous delivery ball by Narayan. And that went right through the outside the off stump, just beating the bat of Lewis. A tremendous delivery. Narayan is another young and really thinking, brilliant cricketer. A lot of experience. Once again, that ball beating the bat there. Seriously, he was looking to play on the onside. And the ball just seemingly passed outside the off stump.
well, that was a good delivery. In fact, it passed between the batter and the leg stump. A ball which just continued to drift into the batter and didn't make contact. Again, delivery which again going for a switch down the leg side. And again, as for the second time, the ball went between the batter and the stumps. But couldn't be handled by Benjamin. And as such, they got extras. So 2 very good delivery by Narayan. Probably could have had the wicket on both occasions.
Yeah, 2 really good delivery. One just saying that something is going to give here. Narayan keeping it right up. Once again, right up. Hit down to long on. They amble a single here. Again, really good over. He just gone for 2 and just Bailey Blaster just beginning to pull back things a bit. They are 55 without loss. We into the 5th over. Remember the winning scores. Target 128. They should be able to pick up 2 runs here. Ball played to mid wicket. That's Brathwaite, 2 more to score, 12 from 10.
Once again deceived by a slow ball outside the off stump. That's what Narayan is known for.
Yeah, quite a good over. It's just gone for 5 in that over. After 5 overs, scoring at, let's see, 57. 57 without loss.
But as I say, the current rate and the asking rate now has been separating itself slowly. Now they required over 14.20. They're scoring at 11.40. It was much higher than that over 2 ago.
Yes. We see the last 2 overs, one from Dylan Joseph and one from the captain Narayan. Really would have pulled back things for the Bailey Blasters. Joseph is going to continue in his second over. Really interesting part of the game. 57 without loss. Cheyenne Buffett. It's again looking for the swing and that ball beating the bat. Good thinking by Joseph. Good length delivery, just outside the off stump. So it's not short, it's not full.
It was delivered pretty wide of the crease and it slanted and it just held its line.
That was well bowled. Nice slower delivery. And Buffett just had to check drive there and just push it on the offside. Pick up a single. Bailey Blasters won't be too worried about that.
No, not at all. Singles really won't hurt them.
Hit in the air, just past the bowler there. And they come back for 2 again. Slow deliveries and almost push it back to the bowler.
Very much so.
It just went over his head. And the batsman being able to pick up 2. But again, really good bowling by Joseph.
This time I delivered down there. Coming off the pad. Just sliding. Good stop by Benjamin.
Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up.
Will that be 88 to 68?
Like 6-0. What? Down the bottom, I've seen 68. Oh, 68 needed.
And once again, another good over by Joseph.
One left.
Again, remains in single digits. 2 overs for 7. And 61 with just 1 delivery to go.
Not out.
Again, a good delivery following the batsman. One can see the batsman looking to make room for himself, but that was an excellent over by Joseph. In fact, 2 excellent overs. And as a result of that, what we have seen, the record rate has gone up to over 16 now.
Yeah, they just put the pressure back on the Saffron strikers. And Joseph finishing the 2 overs, just 7 runs from his 2 overs. Narayan and his 1 over, I think, just went for 6. So the last 3 overs really would have pulled things back. The run rate, as you said, over 16. 62 without loss. As we move into over number 7, so we have to see some big hitting. We have to see the ball clearing the ropes regularly. They're going to take some batting to really get themselves back on track. Lewis is 40 from 22 deliveries. Buffett really more on the slow side, 15 from 14 deliveries. We're going to see the medium piece of Alexander. He went for 15 in his first over. So they have to aim to get over 16. And this one hit straight back past the bowler, down to the boundary for 4. A little surprised that the fielder was not right back on at long off. And also long on.
And once again, it's Lewis. Again, he never looked to belt the ball or belt the cover of the ball really. Just hit it back past the bowler on the onside. And it could not be cut off.
Yeah, even though it didn't seem as though he hit it from the middle of the bat. But this one is hit straight, lovely. And goes for another carry power hit, ball pitched up. And Lewis really gets into this one and brings up his 50 with another maximum.
Yeah, well, he has shown quite clearly this morning that you don't give him any width, any room. You don't have to ensure that if you go up to the bat, that the ball will certainly disappear. And once again, we have seen probably the undoing of the 3 very tight overs that we had previously. Ooh. This one was an obvious wide. It was short and it was high over everybody here. The keeper had to jump to pull it down. Maybe just a little bit of frustration being shown there by Dante Alexander.
Yeah, I don't think he loved being hit back along the ground for 4 and then hit over his head for 6. Really dropped that one short, ponged it in.
It's a Gale fortune favoring the Brave, looking to hike it away on the onside, and it just went in the air back over the bowler. And Alexander turning around but couldn't get close to it.
Well, I don't think he realized how close the ball was aiming. It didn't go far from the bowler. But he had to be able to turn quickly and run back. This one is hit down to point and stopped by the fielder at backward point. But I won't believe that the ball really rushed at him. Just had to get the hands down. But he certainly saved 4. 75 without loss. So we have seen 2 rather big opening stand today's matches.
We get into the point where the Blasters will have to look at hitting a few maximums to draw themselves back into contention again. Neither team will want to think that they're out of it at this point. So just get the feeling, Tony, that in the last 3-4 overs, the momentum has certainly been shifted.
Yes, certainly shifted. Even though we would have had a 6 being struck in this over, but they really need much more than that, the Saffron strikers. We have now completed 7 over, 75. So they still need to get some 53 runs in 3 overs. So again, they need to be scoring over 16 runs from over. It's 75 without loss, 7 overs completed. Hotel Lewis, 51 from 27 deliveries. And Buffett, 16 from 15. As you see, Calvin Blanche coming in from this southern end. Calvin Blanche He will bowl into Buffett left arm. Swing down to mid wicket. And this one goes down right. Well stopped there. The batsman will come back for 2. But yeah, Buffett will have to kind of step up. He's only 18 from 16 deliveries. And this shortened version of the game, we certainly want to be scoring at a better rate.
Against the faster men, he seems to go a lot quicker.
Yeah, those 2 deliveries you would have faced was pitched up, and he really didn't hit good. He really didn't take advantage of it. All of them was split down to mid wicket. And but you can see the timing was really off.
How this ball didn't hit the stumps well. The boundaries have dried up. And once the boundaries have dried up, they found it very difficult to rotate strike to a certain extent. And as a result, 2 overs to go. After that, there were just 14 balls to go, 14 legitimate deliveries to go.
Once again, pitched up. Kane, the batsman, making no contact. I think Kane's still trying to hit across those deliveries. And one felt that if you hit straight, you're really in a better position to pick up boundaries.
Yes, 79 without loss, but this really chasing still requiring 49 runs from 14 deliveries. So despite your 49 without loss, 79 without loss, it doesn't represent a strong position for them. Really struggling to get the ball off the square, out of the ground, which is really required now at this point. You need to get a few big overs to pull themselves back into a position of comfort.
Yeah, it's all about scoring on and scoring it quickly. You have just 60 deliveries in an inning, and you are looking to score as much as you can in that 60 deliveries. But again, you still have to play sensibly. Just find you're hitting across those deliveries. Both batters failing to get back onto the ball.
I think, this very anxious time for them, and probably the timing has gone out of the head. Everybody, they're looking now under pressure to hit maximums. That's a really excellent over by Blash. I don't think he was happy with the delivery, but must be very happy with the result. Just go for 1, so he goes for only 5 in the over, and once again, the pressure has been put on by the Slowermen. 80 for no loss after 8. Now the required rate is 24.
Yeah, have been. Billy Blaster's bowlers came back, and as you said, the last 4 overs that really would have tightened the screws. The bowler of Narayan, who is now preparing to bowl his second over, the 9th over. We saw Joseph at the southern end, and we just see Blanche come on here and bowl a really tight over. Let's go 80. Just 12 deliveries remaining.
I know you're not a betting man, Tony, as well as you're not one who will want to declare results too early.
Thank you.
I don't know how early it is. You think it is right now?
Yeah, you are used to calling very early, the results very early. But no doubt about it, the Billy Blasters are in the driver's seat.
Indeed.
It's going to be a big task, a big ask. And we just go straight back and goes down to the boundary for 4. Pitch up and Buffett is swinging into this one. Probably the first really aggressive shot we have seen from Buffett. Maybe a bit too late.
They'll have to get 24 and over, which means they'll have to hit a 4 every delivery. Really tough task, difficult task.
Yeah, the umpire, they had to show some agility. That one went back rather quickly. It's 84. Narayan. The right up play down to short fine leg. Blanche in that position. They make a good stop. So just only a single.
Heavy man, Blanche, just tumbling away to his left. And every time they do not score a boundary or a maximum, the task will get even more monumental.
You want to see me bat? You want to see me bat? You got a cricketing career. I ain't got a cricketing career. You got a bat, not me.
The rate has certainly grown to a halt.
Yeah, once again, making no contact with that delivery. Leg by.
Again, they really been at seas with the slower bowling. I don't want to call it spin, but the slower bowlers. Nine himself, well, maybe cannot aptly be described as a slower bowler. Yeah. And that's the pace that has really created the problem. They haven't been able to get it away. And once again, a delivery looking to flick and just going quietly down to Blash again. So,
yeah, just avoiding the boundaries in the last few overs. I would think the last 5 overs. We just had probably 1 boundary, 2 boundaries, the 6 and that straight drive for 4. But really, the boundaries is far and wide. Yeah, they're still not able to find the boundary. Narayan, so 12 in the second over. Just 1 delivery to complete the 9th over.
with an asking rate of almost 35 already. That is real pressure. The Dr. Louis Pasco, which is 108, is far away from that.
Once again, pitch up.
Yes, and a slow ball, and look at the what? A type of helicopter flick.
Yeah, taking on the pad there. Again, beaten for a lack of pace there. Full and playing too early into the shot. So that completes the 9th over. Saffron strikers 88 without loss. And really at this time, really looking down the barrel. They need another 40
6 deliveries
from this last over. You know, as you said, you know, you get over 120. Always seem to be really challenging. 132 scored yesterday by Nutmeg Warriors, proved too much. Clove challengers. Nutmeg Warriors showed themselves into the finals. The winner of last year's tournament. High, this one goes. This look at going to clear. Yeah, just clear the longer feeler. And going for a carry power hit. Yeah, Lois. Yeah, just clearing the head. The feeler jumping and not being able to get a hand. So that's 694. Yeah, 5 deliveries remaining.
You feeling, sir? Gentlemen, all of a sudden you want to go with profession? You feeling, sir? Gentlemen, calm, please, calm. We could do that after the game. Yeah, you think when the game you want to go say nothing, you know?
once again, we've seen that on a few occasions where Blash and also Joseph had gotten the ball to sneak between the batter and the stumps. And I think it goes to show probably that either they're not really reading the lines of the ball or the slower bowler. I don't know if they're getting some drifting. We did see Joseph getting some movement back into the right-hander, and as the right-hander was trying to make room for himself, some of them, the balls of them hitting the pad are going through without them making contact. But these two, they have really struggled against the slower bowlers.
Yes,
No
they had a
question
good
about it.
start, and then, from the time the slow bowlers came on, they just seem to have lost the rhythm, not being able to score as quickly. And one can understand when you're facing spin or slow bowlers, you're not being able to score as quickly as you should. Then you try to do, you try to develop methods of trying to do things unorthodox. And we have seen a number of deliveries, would have passed the batters. They didn't get batter onto it. I think more than often trying to hit across those deliveries. And it happened of the bowling of Narayan, Blanche, and even Joseph. So they just seem to be struggling to get back to ball. This one is hit down to long on, and the fielder settles under it and takes a simple catch. So the first wicket has fallen. Dana George and at long on, they picking up a rather simple catch. And Saffron Strikers has lost the first wicket, 94. We are into the 10th over. So Lewis played a good hand. 59. Just would have lost some momentum the second half of the inning.
Certainly.
He was not able to score as quickly as he was scoring. And credit to the Bailey Blasters bowlers. So he's replaced by Adrian Thomas. Only have 3 deliveries to face.
3 legal deliveries to go.
So it has been a good performance by the Bailey Blasters. As you said, Justin probably might be a little bit too late, but had a big opening stand of 116.
Just get the feeling that they needed to go a lot faster. And the momentum did drop somewhere after the midpoint of the reply. The slower bowlers came in and it was totally a different game altogether.
They are closing in on victory. Ball hit down to mid-wicket. So Thomas off the mark with his first delivery. And Chan Braffett has faced just over 4 overs. It's 23.
Must be disappointed with themselves.
And that goes across the road for 4. Just a misfeeling there by George, who came around to his left. Ball struck firmly. Although it was not time as he expected, but it was firmly struck. And George is just missing that delivery. Ball bouncing off his hands. So another bounce with Saffron Strikers. Just
cheeky little one, just steering it, just guiding it along the onside.
Yeah, went down to long white signals. Went down to that long on area. Or the long leg area.
one thought he may have gotten some bat onto it. He didn't. Extras, one wide.
Quite a dominant performance by Billy Blasters. And they would be very happy to come away with a win.
Well, yes, of course.
Having just ended the tournament with 6 points from 8 games. Play down to long off as the Ambler single. Final delivery. And the Believe Blasters coming away winners over Saffron Strikers. And one can term that they would have won convincingly by 25 runs.
And probably far easier than they would have thought. At one point, it seemed like the Saffron Warriors would, the Saffron team would run away with the game quite easily. And as it turned out, the Saffron Strikers losing by 25 runs. And a match I know they would feel that they could have won.
Yeah, the start they had was pretty impressive. I think they started rather quickly. One remembers 15 runs came from the first over, 15 came from the second, 16 from the second over. And the start that the Saffron Strikers had really would have indicated that here it is, the chase is on. And, you know, as I said before, if they continue scoring at that rate, the match would have finished only before 10 overs. But they just fall away in the middle as the spinners came on. Joseph came on, and then we had the captain in Narayan, and we had Blanche came on, and they really tightened the screws, make it rather difficult. And despite Buffett would have continued on 30, I don't think that he scored as quickly as he should have, and really maybe put some extra pressure, you know, on the other batters. And as such, they just was not able to make any serious challenge at the end. And Billy Blasters would have come away with a well-deserved victory.
Yes, and a very comfortable one in the end. One which really didn't seem possible previously.
So just to run through a bit the scorecard. Ramnath, he had 1 over, none for 15. Dana George, he also had 1 over, and he went none for 19. Dante Alexander, 2 overs, and none for 28. Dylan Joseph, 2 overs, none for 7. Micah Narayan, 2 overs, none for 12. And Calvin Blanche had 2 overs, and he had 1 for 19. You know, it was good all-round bowling performance in terms of keeping things tight and not giving away much boundaries. You know, what he started with some boundaries, but we're able to really come back and hold things together. Otel Lewis caught Dana George, bowled Calvin Blanche 59 from 34 deliveries. He had 2 fours and 6 sixes. He played a tremendous inning, and it really gives Saffron Strikers the start they deserve. Sheehan Buffett, he was not out 30 from 24, even though he had 1 6 and 2 fours. Adrian Thomas not out 2. They ended 102 for 1. One fell 102 for 1. You want to make sure that you give a shot. So Kotai 69, Walcott 41. Narayan 8 main scorers. Williams 1 for 13. Kem Charles 1 for 27. And Lewis 59. Buffett on 30. And 1 for 19 was Blanche. And Bailey Blasters comfortably won this encounter by 25 runs.
So congratulations to the Bailiff Strikers.
So as we look at the points ending just in the, well, we know that close challengers, they're 14 points and Nutmeg Warriors 10 points. And that's a preliminary. where they ended up. And 8 points, 4 points to Bailey Blasters, 6 points to Saffron Strikers. So we are seeing based on the point standing in terms of the two teams at the bottom playing off in the first encounter today. And then we're going to see two of the better teams, or should I say better, two of the top teams. Two of the teams would have gone forward. They're going to play off. Close Challengers, one of the teams that should look well balanced. They're going to come up against the likes of Cinnamon Pieces, who would have seen, would have transformed in terms of the performances for the last two games. So we expect that one to be a big one, and certainly the winner of that particular game will go on to meet Nutmeg Warriors in the finals. So it's a very crucial game for both of the teams. I could tell you if Clove Challengers lose, they would be very, very disappointed based on the fact that they would have played so well in the preliminaries. But that's the way cricket goes. And sometimes, you play well in preliminaries, and when they come down to the most serious part of it, you lose. So that would be a key game coming up, and really that would determine the finalists. But again, has been a better game today for the batters, Justin, as we look at what would have happened here today.
Yes, indeed. And as you see, one expect that this game coming up to be a real blast out. Got to give again the Cinnamon Pieces some credit. They have certainly clawed their way back and still in contention to win the title. And one know it will be a battle between these two. Let's hope that, we will see a tremendous fight on each part, and we wouldn't find a situation where there may be like anticlimactic as the previous game ended up. But one really wants to see a battle out there, and I'm sure we're going to get that in that upcoming game.
Well, let's hope that happens, because one of the things we haven't seen in the tournament is kind of close, nail-biting finish. I think probably the exception, maybe one or two games that would have gone the distance or gone very close. I know that Clove Challengers game where they had to get 79 for victory. When they only scored 78, was a close one. But outside of that game, we haven't seen, the normal closeness and tightness in teams coming down to the wire. And one hopes that, the game coming up, we're going to have a real competitive one, and probably put us in a position none of us would be able to see where the game going until we go right down to the last over.
That's correct.
So the sun continues to shine brightly. We are preparing for the second game, but just before that, in a while we're going to be going down for the just for the presentation. It has been a good tournament so far. I think that things would have really run really on track. And again, we have been blessed by some good weather.
Very, very good weather in the midst of, again, some rather bad weather in other parts of the region around us. Of course, the likes of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dominica, Trinidad and Tobago have really had their fair share of bad weather. We had our scares, but we really have to say that it was a blessing, the type of weather we've had so far. And it has certainly given us the opportunity to enjoy some very good cricket. Yeah. All in all, it was very good cricket.
Yeah, and it was good to see you on the feature of the tournament is have a regional players been involved. And, Charles in particular, that he comes to mind really quickly, is one of the players who would have really stood out. He batted at this point in time, he would have hit the most six in the tournament, which is 26. And really would have batted well. I think he's really an important figure on the Nutmeg Warriors team. So he would have done very, very well. And it's good to see your regional players being a part of this tournament and are able to come forward. So he would have done that, and also with his bowling, he would have picked up wickets. Yeah. But again, the bowling of Hooper, last two games, he will really come on, pick up some wicket, and look at different bowler. As all batters just seem to struggle to put him away.
Yeah. Again, I think the effects of slow bowling, especially in this region, batters haven't generally done too well against the slower stuff.
So what has happened here in regards to the slower bowlers? It's not nothing new.
No, it's not.
We find that batters in the region struggle against the slower bowlers. And it was very evident here, this particular game, when the slower bowlers came on, things would have really changed. And maybe that's a situation that maybe one has to look at maybe from a region in terms of how we deal with that situation, how we approach that in terms of how we play the slower bowlers. It just means that you need to spend time to work on it, to be clear in terms of how you deal with and I wouldn't say spinners, but the slower bowlers. Maybe, probably too much of the shorter version. The patience is not there, and you try to do things quickly, so you don't rely on the basics. But it is of concern, and one hopes that, when the coaches look back at what have happened, would be able to impart some knowledge in terms of what should happen going forward.
Well, the onus, I think, is always on the batters to keep improving their games, and of course to work to strengthen the areas of weakness. But for a very long time we have struggled with dealing with that area of the game, which is the slow version, slow bowlers, and then the slow bowlers of various games.
And I think the mere fact that the shorter version has seemingly taken over the game, it becomes a situation where you have to score fast, where you have to try to adopt and be able to score quickly. And therefore, the basics seem at this time, the ready for us downstairs, so we'll just go downstairs for the presentation.
All right, we are here for the post-match presentation, and I have with me the Saffron Strikers captain, Kem Charles. Kem, again, the fortune's really not favoring the Saffron Strikers.
No, I think this game pretty much sums up how we've been playing this season. We got a good start today. It was 49 after 3 overs, and then we fall away in the middle, and we didn't lose our wicket. So, we didn't have a good season with the bat at all this year.
All right, when you recap, your bowling seemed to have been your strength. Just talk about your bowlers a little bit.
I think we started off pretty good with the ball. In the middle, we bowled too many bad balls in certain games, and I think we fielded really poor. I'm not sure of the stat, but I think we dropped the most catches as a team this season. So I think we knew where we went wrong, and we had to go back to the drawing board and hope to come better for the next tournament.
All right, well, there you had it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Kem Charles, the captain of the Saffron Strikers. We await to see what Saffron will bring come the next tournament.
Thanks.
All right, so next will be Micah Narayan, the captain of the Real Property Grenada Bayleaf Blasters. Micah, a good win for you today.
Yes, of course. That was a good win for us, both batting and bowling. I think we did very well.
All right, we saw a really good, strong opening partnership, which seemed to have set the tone for you boys. We haven't seen it much in the tournament. What did you say to these guys?
I mean, it's tough to have this kind of opening stand now where we are not in the competition. But at the end of the day, I think that was a good performance so you can secure yourself for selection for next season. And we also have a game for tomorrow. So I think that will bring momentum for tomorrow's game.
All right, so good luck to you in tomorrow's game, Micah. And all the best as you move forward.
Thank you.
All right, so we're moving into the prizes. And we are going to begin the prize giving with the impact bowler of this match, and Sharice Noel, the secretary of the Grenada Cricket Association, is going to present to Dylan Joseph. All right, Dylan, just a quick word. You came into this match more or less knowing that it's a playoff. The only thing that can happen is to move one space further up. Tell us about your bowling effort.
Okay, as my first game, well, my first year in the T10, my job was to go out there and show them what I got basically. So coming out for this game, the whole idea was to get through this game and move on to tomorrow, get the next game tomorrow, so we get as much play in the tournament. Coming out there, I just give it the best I had.
All right. As you say, you're pretty fresh in it, but we saw some good deliveries coming down. You seem to have built a good bit of pressure with that 2 overs that you had.
Yeah, it was basically using the head in the game, restricting the runs, no boundaries, and that was about it.
All right, so good luck as you go on tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks very much.
All right, so we moving ahead into another presentation, and we're going to have the man of the match and the power hitter because it's the same person. And so we're going to present to Kieran Kotoy, the power hitter, the carry power hitter. And he would also remain. And he will be collecting the Man of the Match award. Kieran picking up all the awards today. We saw you started really slowly, just got a piece of the wickets, and then it's like out of nowhere, a strike rate of 260 odd, scoring some 66 with 7 sixes. I mean, tell us about that innings.
Well, obviously, I want to thank God first and foremost for giving me the opportunity to obviously be out here playing cricket. Just looking back at the past games, I realized I wasn't giving myself, a fair chance. Obviously, batting in the power play, looking for quick runs, but, I was trying to go to the ball like too hard, too fast. And, I just decided, to give myself a little bit of time today and just enjoy the cricket as much as possible.
All right, you seem to have gotten that form, we would say, maybe just a tad too late?
Well, it's better late than never. That's what they say, right? But, that's part of cricket, really. To any youngsters out there, sometimes, you might be hot, you might be cold, but, those times you're hot, just enjoy it as much as possible because, that's the game of cricket. You're going to be cold more than you're hot, but when you're up, just enjoy it for as long as possible.
All right, you still have another game tomorrow where you can move a little bit up the table again. What can the Bayleaf Blasters fans expect from Kieran Kotoy tomorrow?
Well, I just want to be here alive and obviously, just come out and play, my best cricket possible. If I can repeat this performance that I had today, then that would be phenomenal. But regardless, a good day of cricket would be had tomorrow. So, just come out and enjoy cricket.
Well, I have one question I wanted to understand. I haven't seen you much with the ball this season.
Well, I would love for you to put on some pads and come in the middle so we can get your wicket, right? But, I've been struggling over the past, couple of years or so, with a knee injury that I had. So, when the opportunity is not there to bowl, then I don't force it. But if the opportunity is there, then, I'll come and bowl my, allotment of overs. But be that as it may, I just want to play cricket and enjoy it for as long as possible.
All right, thank you very much, Kieran Kotoy, and we want you to just continue to enjoy the cricket. See you tomorrow where you get an opportunity to showcase your skills and talents once more.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, so that brings an end to the post-match presentation, and we are reminding you we don't want you to go anywhere because the big one is coming. It is the qualifier to see who will meet the Nutmeg Warriors in the finals of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10. See you shortly.
everybody charge up. West Indies